Opposition Whip.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Education and Early Childhood Learning. Given your department's March 15 directive that schools would be implementing social distancing measures and your government's Phase 3 and Phase 4 return to school plans, how is social distancing going to operate in classes with 30 students?
Well, again, Mr President, I think I've covered this quite extensively in the earlier questions and 2 supplementaries that came in relation to that. The measures that we are putting in place around social distancing are certainly focused on the adults on our school sites, our teachers, our principals, school support staff, any parents for whatever reason who may need to be on or near a school site around drop-off and pick-up. The advice is clear. The health advice is very clear in relation to our students in terms of children. They've clearly said that they don't need to adhere to the same social distancing rules, but we appreciate that schools are in a position to distance students when they do have that opportunity in the classroom. That's what they're doing. Like I said, I'm confident with the measures that we've got in place, and I think I've covered this quite extensively already.
Mr President.
Yes, the member on a supplementary.
Minister, in your answer you specifically referred to the focus being on adults. Does that mean that this is an optional measure for students, and have you made that crystal clear in the communications with schools?
Well, again, as I said in earlier answers, Mr President, we and the Department of Education has been communicating with our principals and our teachers many times over the last few weeks. I know that there's been a lot of information that has gone out to principals, providing them with the advice that they need in terms of students returning to the classroom. I know that there have been live question and answer sessions. There's been a lot of opportunities for principals to ask any questions that they have in relation to students returning back into the classroom, and I think that's something that we all want to see. As I said, the health advice is clear that the risk in our schools is very low. We think it is important that we have students back in the classroom. I'm confident with the processes that we have in place with our school communities around the return of students to school, and as I said, living with COVID-19.
Supplementary.